These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes.
It's right here over Picatinny, there was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Okay, you see it? You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that, bro? Did it just get smaller? Bro, what?
Above the ocean, and it was low, very low, but so bright and so clear, and it was huge. Like when you...
I'm concerned. I issued a letter to ask for more information, and I think there should be a lot more transparency about that.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. My goodness, looking at this, and we're taking it seriously. We.
All right. Let me know if you guys could hear me. We're doing it live. Didn't do a show yesterday because it felt like a slow news day. And then right after, stuff popped off. We got this new little meme for us. Gonna refix it.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Probably gonna add a red panda hat to that one. Let's shout out the chat real quick, and then we'll get into it. Javi's here. Welcome, sir. El Kimpo. Yay. One day off, then back to business. Yeah, this story's not going anywhere. Let's see, and then let's put on some music too. Can have little fun vibes here. Yes, the chat. Shout out the chat. Savage for Mitch. I fear we will never get a straight answer. I hope so too, but luckily the New Jersey mayors are kind of keeping it real in a way that the Colorado politicians did not in 2019 and 2020. Hello, 0897. Hello, thank you. Blue Jasmine, hello, party people. Just in, Iwakuni Kinako Airport. Oh, let's get it right. Iwakuni Kintaikyo Airport, a joint civilian and U.S. military facility in Japan, experienced a temporary closure due to multiple drone sightings on the evening of December 22nd. Yeah, very interesting. Brent Lee, Merry Christmas to all the people who believe in men walking on water but don't believe in dinosaurs. LOL. Yes, Merry Christmas. I was doing some Christmas shopping. Good morning, UFO. Woohoo! Red Panda is live. Yes, everyone go subscribe to her. What else we got? Smig Bush. Love these nightly updates. Yeah, some of us are pretty addicted to this story, and you can't get enough. Daniel Jacobian. Alien Face. Fat Kid. Glad to be living out the end times with you, bros. Hell yeah. Lee Ashbury. Hey, Yins, guys. First Coast Crypto. They don't know nothing. Biologist Wildtree. We're back, boys. Lee Ashbury. Doesn't show me the thing. Thank you. Terrestrial Materials in the house. Let's go. Michael Johnson. Hell yeah. Everyone, by the way, go subscribe to Terrestrial Material as well. They put out great UFO stuff. Doug Dastardly. Kari Fro. Javi. Have you talked about the orb flying through Miami buildings? Seen the video. Pretty cool. No, send that to me. Send that to me. Yeah, we're doing it live. Like I said, today I was out and about doing Christmas shopping, doing normal life stuff. So we're kind of doing this one a little more live like my old ones. I do have a playlist here ready to go, but we're going to start with a Bledsoe video talking for a long time. So hopefully that'll give me a little bit of time to like get the rest of my stuff ready to go. Okay. So much stuff going on here, guys. Doing a live show is crazy. All right, here we go. So yeah, we're going to start with Chris Bledsoe, who's an experiencer, that a lot of people know about. Pretty big in the UFO movement, whatever you want to call it. Seems like a nice guy to me, but also totally, in my opinion, not being used, I would say, but he's definitely propped up by the intelligence community in ways that other experiencers aren't. And he's been kind of talking about some stuff, so we'll just kind of hear him out real quick, and then we'll continue along. And then, yeah, the big story of the night was this mayor kind of leaking some stuff on Facebook last night. We also have some new UFO videos. That's the thing. Like, I was like, okay, maybe it's dying down. Maybe the sightings aren't as good. And then I go on some of the Facebook groups and stuff where some of the really good footage is, because that's where all the the locals are. And yeah, there's still every day new and more amazing footage. And we have new accounts too of people being visited and told by the FBI that they have to delete stuff and whatnot. This is a crazy cluster we are in. All right, so here's Chris Bledsoe. We're just gonna let this play out. This is about 6 minutes. So I got some stuff to do in the background. But yeah, let's let it ride.
I want to start out by saying that I predicted this. If you read my book,
yeah, and I think that's Chris's
if
end.
anybody's read this book, realize and watched any podcast that I've done over the last 5-6 years, I've been saying the whole time that these orbs are going to come and wake us up. And I even gave specific times that when that might happen, and that's when you see war between Israel and Iran. I put that in the book. So what Bertie was saying about their alarm, they are really alarmed. The orbs, to me, they're angels to me. They're biblical, just like you said, Jim. They're magical beings. They don't breed like humans. They were created. They listen to our thoughts. I interact with them every day of my life and have literally tens of thousands of bits of data and information from them. And when I interact with them, they're speaking to me. How do you get them to come? Because they listen to me and they send information. So I knew this time was coming. I know a lot about drones because I'm a drone pilot and I'm also a commercial pilot. And I can tell you there's a Remote ID Act that was passed by the federal government that says all toy airplanes, even models, if it's a half a pound or more, it has to have, it's got to be 0.55 pounds, just a little more than a half. You have to have a transponder on them to fly toy airplanes. So none of these are civilians. For one, civilian drones can't see in the dark unless it's got a FLIR camera, and that would usually be the fire departments or whatever. Also, I do know that a friend of mine in New Jersey called me, told me that he filmed the drone, one of these drones, minivan-sized drones, fly over his house. He's shown a laser on it, and in 30 minutes, the FBI knocked on his door and said, "We know you did it, and if you do it again, we'll put you in jail." Yesterday, I was called by someone in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, that there was one of those same drones running a grid over Chapel Hill with a Black Hawk helicopter right behind it with its lights out. So yeah, the military, whatever they're doing, the drones, the orbs are coming on high alert. It's just like the Foo Fighters in World War II. When the fighters were going into Germany, these orbs were beside them. So that's just my opinion that the orbs are on high alert, that whatever the drones are doing, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're looking for something, sniffing for nuclear material. That would clearly explain why the orbs are coming in great numbers. And they're not going to stop. They're going to keep coming until everyone understands that we're not alone and that this confusing it with the drone thing and with something terrestrial, here, it's got to end. Everybody's going to awaken to a truth between now and 2026, and if not way before, early this year, that we're not alone, and that there's something above us that's concerned for our safety. And it's the same thing with all these people that report seeing these orbs to me, and I have thousands that report to me that never send a MUFON or anywhere. They just reach out to me because they're fans. And it's always the same. They have these experiences after a tragic loss of loved ones, or husband or wife or daughter or child. So there's patterns that exist in this. The drones are muddy in the water, but they will not prevail. The orbs are going to come and awaken this country, this world, and it's happening worldwide. And if you read this book, UFO of God, you'll see exactly that I predicted this years ago, and have been doing it every chance I get, every podcast that I do, to say it's fixing to happen, it's coming, and I know it because they're telling me this, and I can film it, and I can share it with other people, 200 at a time. See it when I ask, here it comes, and that's because it's listening to what I'm saying, and it knows our thoughts. So I'm kind of worried about this, what the military's doing, why they're running grids all over the country and worldwide. It doesn't make sense unless they're trying to desensitize the fact that this non-human intelligence is coming into our world, and they're afraid of panic. So if it's not some nuclear material involved, but I believe though they're coming because they're alarmed, like Birdie. So I don't know, we're speculating, all of us, but I was correct. That is happening, and it's going to happen before 2026, and everybody's going to know it. There's no getting around what's coming, and I'm not worried about the orbs at all. I'm worried about the drones and people, not the heavens. So there's so much more I could talk about, but I would just be speculating. But I do know it's coming.
All right. What do we got over there? Sorry. So yeah, that's Chris Bledsoe, experiencer. Like I said, propped up kind of by this whole disclosure movement in ways that other experiencers aren't. So keep an eye on that. I'm going to play another kind of long one real quick because I'm still doing stuff in the back here. And we did play this the other day, but this is from the same little stream, and it's kind of been gaining a lot of traction. We're going to go to the Stephen Bassett. Actually, let's see.
Joining us now.
There you go.
The United States government knew about the ET presence no later than July of 1947 in Roswell. Made the decision at that time to keep that from the American people. Fine. Almost exactly 5 years later to the week, there was a significant flyover of Washington, D.C. The U.S. government had a problem. General John Sanford made the response for the government, which was equivocative, but not unreasonable. But also there came a response from Donald Keogh, who flat out said, these are extraterrestrials. It's not human. Again, the government made the decision to keep this from the American people. 10 years later, 1962, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, where we almost had a nuclear war. Only 4 years after that, these craft started appearing over our nuclear facilities and shutting our nuclear weapons down. How many times this happened in the 60s, we don't know. Because the Air Force probably at some point was able to keep a much tighter rein on the outcome. But witnesses for a number of these shutdowns came forward. They have been trying to testify before Congress for 30 years, which is when they initially made the decision to start coming forward, led by Captain Robert Salas. The government has not allowed them to testify, and in fact, it has virtually ghosted them. It was about the only thing they could do. All right. And so that was in the 60s. Again, the government kept this from the American people. Decades went on. And then we start to approach what I think is the end game, the end of the truth embargo. And we start moving into that 7-year period starting in 2017. But it's not been easy. It's been slow. There's been pushback. There's been some wins and losses, but we are moving toward disclosure without question. However, we are also moving toward nuclear war. Just that one thing alone is enough to be justification for more action from them. And so as we stall on the disclosure process, we suddenly have what the history will call the era of the drone swarms, the drone swarm flap. Let me take you back to May 17th of 2022. At that time, we had a hearing in front of the subcommittee of the Intelligence Committee in the Senate. Scott Bray and Ronald Moultrie. It was the first hearing, by the way, since the last one in 1968. So we're talking 54 years. So that's progress. And they came in, they were working for the UAP task force, and they testified. It wasn't, grandiose. It was kind of basic. A lot of people were not satisfied. But at that hearing, you may recall, a video was presented, a video that had emerged not too long before the hearing was held. And it involved a drone swarm around one of our ships at night, not over New Jersey, not over the UK, not over some part of the United States, but over one of our ships at night. And they did not shoot them down. In fact, they didn't do anything. And the only reason we got that film is because, well, a lot of sailors have cameras. They're allowed to take cameras with them. And somebody filmed it and it got in our hands. And Bray, Scott Bray, tried to explain it, but it was really painful. So the drone swarm era goes all the way back to 2022. And it has been escalating ever since. And so here is my conclusion. The extraterrestrials have lost their patience. And the risk to us as a civilization has only increased. And so they've decided we're going to end this nonsense. And so they are doing incursions, using their devices, whatever they are, not just in one place, not in two places, not on one continent, multiple continents. And the US government knows it. And what do? Here's what they do, right? You can't shoot them down. They know they're extraterrestrial, I can assure you.
All right, I'm back. Here we go. So yeah, we heard that the other day, so we won't probably play the full thing. But the Chris Bledsoe stuff, kind of interesting to get different perspectives on all this stuff from UFO land. The UFO stuff's starting to seep more into there's a New Jersey drone subreddit, and they seem kind of anti-UFO, but they're starting to be more UFO. And some of these local Jersey Facebook groups are starting to be kind of more open to this. Okay. What do we got next? I think next we got a little bit of Stephen Greer. We got to hit him with this.
If you face that, you're not going to be afraid of death. And so I have sort of I call it the spirit warrior mindset, where I'm just not afraid of if I get threatened, or I've been threatened plenty.
All right, so let's hear what Greer had to say last night, I believe, about this. Yeah.
Again, is the founder of the Disclosure Project, Dr. Stephen Greer. Dr. Greer, great to have you back on. Appreciate you making time for us. On Wednesday night, you told me about 6 different black sites that have been running illegal UAP and UFO projects, and that they will be coming forward within the next 30 days before Inauguration Day. My question, coming forward with what?
Well, what their intention is to, at least the primary organizer of that, who is a senior operator at 2 black sites in the high desert out west. He is heading this up with us and with his team, and he has 6 other black sites. Now, I don't know how many of these men will actually be coming forward. He and a few of his special forces operators will be coming forward publicly, meaning name, rank, serial number, and their involvement. Now, what I've heard, if he can do this, he's planning on releasing the proof, the video, photographs of the downing of extraterrestrial vehicles, or NHI, non-human.
All right, more big things
intelligence
coming
craft.
from Greer. I think I got actually the wrong one. Let's do.
Could you put us?
Here we go.
There's a covert rogue military component that is behind all these drone sightings. Some of them are drones, some of them are a little more advanced.
Drone sightings.
And most of them are part of a rogue military operation to basically create a psychological warfare effect in the media and in the public in advance of something that nobody knows is going to happen, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. So there's a group of
the psychological part is working, by the way. We're all scared.
We're all terrified now. So
Yeah, you should be. So this is very serious. So there's a group of guys who I've known for about 18, 19 months who are senior intel and aerospace operatives out of some desert locations. I'm not going to mention where they are. I've been to them, where most of the R&D testing and operations dealing with so-called UFOs, UAPs occur. Now, this guy, the main guy, has 6 other black sites, as they're called, operational sites that are very secretive, and are these particular ones are ones that are rogue and been running illegally for a long time. He is coming forward in the next 30 days or so, maybe less.
All right, so more back to that, but kind of what he said in the beginning was he thinks this is all a rogue psyop, some kind of like breakaway civilization, I guess would kind of honestly be an applicable word, but some kind of thing outside the government that's also really powerful that's had access to this technology. So that's an option. Who knows? We're gonna keep them all on the table. We have no idea what's happening right now. All right, what do we got next? Okay, this is kind of a last little kind of UFO land, still kind of related, but this was an interesting clip.
Could you put
from so this is senior Senate staffer Kirk McConnell, who's like Senate staffer for a bunch of these intel committees, Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, and apparently behind the scenes he's been helping this guy right here. He's been helping a lot with the UFO stuff for years. So we'll just hear this out.
Could you put us in the room with a firsthand witness and describe what it felt like and what the expressions of other potential senators that may have been there, again, no names, what it was like to listen from a potentially firsthand witness? Can you put us in the room and tell us what the atmosphere felt like?
Well, James, I don't think in a way that it's very hard to imagine. It's certainly I speak to myself. What was going through my mind is shock and kind of reeling. It's a tough thing to get your mind around, and to be confronted with it, coming from another person whom you find credible based on their credentials and their clearances and their background and all that. It certainly it makes it hard to go to sleep at night, for a good while.
What did the senators, did they have a sort of slack-jawed appearance as well, or was it just?
No, I mean, I don't think any of us fell on the floor, in anguish or anything, but it was very serious and very sobering. And there was, just rapt attention to what was being said and trying to absorb it. They would take this information on board.
So yeah, kind of relevant because I think it kind of ties into the whole like ontological shock thing, right? Let's just run with the idea that this is NHI and we're on the fast track to like disclosure outside of the government's time frame. Gonna have a lot of people dealing with this kind of stuff, and you even hear it. People come in the Twitter spaces that aren't really part of the UFO community, but saw something in Jersey or whatnot, and it's I don't know. It's kind of an interesting little sub dynamic to this whole thing, is like the mental psyche of people and communities and what happens when everyone gets blackpilled at once. And we might find out with this, or they might be able to cover it up. Who knows? Yesterday I was feeling like, oh man, they're going to be able to cover this whole damn thing up, aren't they? And today I'm thinking like, damn, these Jersey mayors are not going to let them do that. Well, we're in the middle of it. We're going to figure out. Oh shoot! Look surprise guest, Chupacabra. Hello, sir.
In the mix.
Tupa's in the mix, yo. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. You know, we're doing the nightly coverage, and
Yes. Dude, I love it. I love the coverage. I watched a couple minutes of Jesse Michaels' video. Your name was there at the watermark. He's watching all the stuff. I might be a convert. There is a lot of stuff happening with this drone stuff. So I'm here
for the panel, and let's I think let's do actually wait, but for the panel, right? You started off pretty heavy in the this is a psyop, which still totally on the table. And then this is kind of like the Lou crew in vans around New Jersey with remote control RVs to kind of build up hype for UFO stuff, right? Walk people through where you were and where you are now.
Okay, so I've been basically researching every rental place that rents out Sprinter vans for the last 4 months, and I've been trying to figure out which van company Lou and company have it in fact rented out. No, my view on this is that because the drones appear to have FAA regulated lights, that these are our own drones and they are a military or defense contract exposition or display. And, you know, a lot of people knew about it, but not everyone. Of course, people, you know, something like this, it would be inner circle stuff. Maybe they assumed no one was looking up. And I thought that there were people in the know who leaked this to media assets who said, hey, this is going to be a UAP event. Be on the lookout for a UFO event that's going to come up. And it basically like kicked off that in that direction. And so I still think that could be true, but why they are in the air is a whole deal. And the fact that they are in the air provides, in my opinion, now an opportunity for different things going on, right? Whether it be UAP or UFO, I'm going to, UFO for sure, mimicking random stuff. Why couldn't they do that? If they're in the air looking, monitoring, which we've covered, right? We've covered the drone network, right? The Sphere network from Patrick Jackson.
Yeah, I played that on my little day off here. I just restreamed that, so it's on our stuff now. But
and that's very compelling, right? So I've always been on board for that. Why wouldn't they be here for something similar to this? So, at the very least, in my opinion, it appears to be a mix of a lot of different things right now. And I think it's on the table how history looks at this.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it, heat of it. I was trying to say both. This is footage we got yesterday from the Goat Show. These people I met on Twitter, and I did like a secondhand interview with them yesterday. I'm probably going to upload it because one of their followers or subscribers, fans of their podcast, sent this in. And yeah, I see someone saying it's a Cessna. Well, I asked the guy all about it, and he was like, "No, this wasn't a Cessna." And that's something that we kind of see, and people are saying too. There's a bunch of videos like that where it's like it looks like a plane, but like this thing's like 200 feet above their house and like hovering. So there does seem to be mimicking. I guess we'll just kind of let this play through. And then there was a video, like I said, last night that I got off one of these Facebook groups that I think is one of the best examples of something going from one thing to another. Yeah, let's see. Let's just go here real quick.
No longer in the one.
Okay. So first, let's trip down memory lane. We've heard a lot of testimonies about this. Here's one of the testimonies of this shape shifting. This is from about a week or two ago, and then we'll play the footage from last night.
Scott Ingenito was fishing Saturday at Island Beach State Park when he saw what he describes as lights brighter than stars forming over the horizon.
When they came toward the shore, it changed from a bright white light to a winged craft with flashing lights.
Doesn't seem to be bothered.
Bright white light to a winged craft with flashing lights. We're about to show a video last night that I think captures that pretty well. Although
That's weird.
Not as much the wings, but you know who else said this too, but that they saw this firsthand? Guess. Actually, no, I'll just tell you. UAP James, because I don't know if you know.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah, he's out there in New Jersey.
I found that out, right? He was straight up giving a testimony of what he saw. I was like, oh, this isn't like a quote or anything. He for real saw this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Didn't know he was out
he's
there
been
until
contacting
today.
his local representatives and doing a great job. Everyone go follow UAP James on Twitter. I'm trying to get him to come on, but he's kind of a little nervous. Everyone's kind of a little spooked to be talking about this stuff publicly, but he did tell me. I don't even know how to say that.
In a skiff?
But he did say like he saw these things go from a white light to a blinking light with craft, like firsthand. So yeah.
So off in a distance, right? Maybe these things know how far away they are from human eyes, to appear as one light. That could be drone. That could be whatever. It can't be a plane, that's for sure. But it could be a UFO. I mean, hell, man. The fact that they get closer and change shape, that's a very common part of the UFO sighting example. Like, these things are known to morph around, mimic things. God, it gives like a vibe of almost predatory, like Nope.
Yeah, very uncomfortable, very weird. Siphon says, why are people spooked to talk about this? Well, we covered this on a few shows ago, and I have another video queued up of that too. But apparently, like, people who post these videos online, well, one, you just have to deal with like being online, and not everyone's like online like that, right? You have like there's a bunch of debunkers out there and a bunch of crazy UFO people who want to talk to you, and there's just this onslaught of like new things and people trying to find your exact address, date, time, location, so they could, you know what I mean? Like, like somebody I know posted a video and like they were hella doxxed like within like 10 minutes because like people just want to know, and people are really good at sleuthing. But there's also this concern that the FBI has been visiting people who post videos online, especially the really good ones. I did, like I said, we covered it the other day.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, and there's been a few more testimonies coming out about that, and it's just a weird vibe. But before we continue there, let's show this video from last night. So yeah, we got the let's play that. Let's play this one part real quick again too.
When they came toward the shore, it changed from a bright white light to a winged craft with flashing lights.
Doesn't seem to be bothered. No longer in the one site.
It's from last night.
Here it is going back now. This is so freaking weird. This was staying still for over an hour. Come on, buddy. Come this way. Keep coming.
Screwed the thing on it.
There it is. Come on. Come on out. Now it's hovering over my other neighbor's house. There we go. Now it's more red.
See that too, but pretty crazy, huh?
I don't like
this
that.
Didn't move for hours.
Yeah, there's that thing too. There's that ball.
So weird, man. Look at the different lights now. It's moving really fast now. This is crazy how fast this thing's moving now. No longer in.
Holy cow. 69 Canadian dollars. That might be the biggest thing we've ever gone on here. Thank you, Ocean.
Let's go.
I didn't realize Ocean was balling like that. You know, for this much money, we might have to pull back the old.
So nowadays I'm all about the fatty. You better get some. Too busy hating, ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty, getting none.
Damn, Ocean! I didn't realize Ocean had it like that on Christmas too. Thank you, Ocean. Merry Christmas. Much love to the only news I watch. Hell yeah, Ocean. Great friend of the show.
We love Ocean, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah, we love Ocean. But we'll just leave that up to you for a bit there. But
yeah,
crazy
Merry Christmas.
video, right? I'm just
The
gonna
one
I'll play it
site.
again and mute it so we can just kind of analyze it. But
No, I don't like this.
This
Do
is
you know
a
what
straight
it,
up
do you know
orb.
what it takes for it to change colors and stuff? I mean, there are some.
Look at you can see
there
the
are
kind of, it's like energized. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I mean, there's some explanations for this. I still think this is weird no matter what. One of them could be that one of the brighter, whiter lights was aimed directly from some angle or, whatever perspective towards the camera, and it was overpowering any of the other blinking ones. And then when it finally got to a certain angle, it just began to go. Now, that's my Mick West take. My real take is that I've never seen anything like that. And I love that everyone in Jersey is looking up, recording everything they see. I mean, Enigma Labs must be blowing up right now, right?
They actually did. They were in my DMs. I didn't even check it. I should now. But I saw they got it was on the news and stuff. They're all plugged in with freaking there's CIA op low key. But yeah, it was like 700% surge in Enigma Labs thing. And look at this is the low key MH370 thing. And that was seen in the other shape shifting one, which honestly, I'll pull that again. Let me add that here too. But yeah, I don't know. And now you have it right at the end where it's like now if somebody only posted that one at the end, people would just say, "Oh, that's not a UFO. It has FAA compliant lights." Like
That's true.
it's
That's me. I mean, I've never known a UFO to have those lights, right? But then again, it is, you know, I've never really seen one. I've never seen a UFO. I can't really say. The fact that so many people are recording so many things that I've never seen.
right.
One video, I don't know if I can, I'll try to find it. I don't know if maybe you've played it, but it was clearly a larger than a commercial drone, like SUV sized vehicle flying in the air with a spotlight coming out of the front of it. Incredibly big, like, you know, you can tell because there were things in front of the camera, like there was a telephone poles in between the camera and the object, and it was moving behind it, and it was huge. It's like, okay, that's almost like a Escalade size. Never seen anything like it, unless it was a helicopter that the camera just wasn't picking up. But it looked to me it'll be like an actual drone, and that's strange.
That's what I
That's
hear a lot too.
really strange.
And if you could find me that, DM me that, and we'll watch it. People are like, the lights always look like that when planes have landing lights on, and I see it all the time because I live by an airport. Yeah, somebody, and in my little intro too, I'm going to be interviewing that girl from Florida who got the other shapeshifter one. That's what everyone was telling her, that, oh, that's just a plane on approach that's turning. But like the guy was saying, and these guys from similar orb UFOs like that, and he says it's over his neighbor's house. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I'm kind of leaning the other one. Because the guy says it's over its house, and then I kind of, lucky checked out a bunch of stuff. This guy's posted a few videos from like his same kind of area.
And where is he? Where's he at?
In New Jersey.
Why don't I'm not balling like that, but we should try to get over there, right? Because, or at least to get the
That's
right
what I asked
equipment.
for Christmas from like my family. I was like, oh, I just want to go to New Jersey. So anything you want
They're
to
gonna
throw
be
money
like,
at me,
"What?"
go towards that. Yeah.
Dude, if we can get a trip over there, there's cameras we can get that would get you 4K hyper close up, the closest you'd ever seen of anything like this. We would need like 3 camera crews, triangulate a position, and with the specific cameras that are consumer grade, Best Buy under $1,000, you now have the ability to capture these things. And that's what we need. I mean,
If I get a ticket, I could probably get Best Buy to like sponsor me or some stuff, right? Because I've been covering this so hardcore, right? Like just or some camera company, right? Like, yeah. Okay. Oh,
if you could, getting out to Jersey would be amazing. Basically setting up like a home base over there where people can come through. Like, okay, what's happening? Let's build up on this research, because this is crazy, man.
Yeah,
this has gone on too long. It's very weird, and we don't have the high def 4K footage that we should have for boots on the ground. But we'll see. Dude,
And,
crazy. So you're interviewing all these people too, right? Like, who's next that you're going to be interviewing?
I'm interviewing the girl from Florida, and real quick, let me shout out the super chats too. Hell yeah!
Holy
everyone's
shit!
got-
Okay, let's fucking go.
We got Tony Cetel says, "Missed you guys. Always look forward to your lives. Please keep this up. We will. It's all popping off. Thank you. Send RBK to Jersey Fun. Hell yeah. Theo Fantor. Let's do it. Thank you, bro. $50. Hell yeah. So I've interviewed like 4 or 5 people now. I still got a bunch of backlog stuff too, but I got to like edit it all together. I interviewed Omer. I did the Arizona couple, Ashley and Leo. Modern Leopard did him too. Still have to edit that one. We did the Orb guy, TTAL. Interviewed the guy last night from LA. We got the Florida girl on deck. I've just kind of been going crazy. I kind of need to better manage my messages or find out a way to organize it better, because I do have like 4 scheduled in gray area. Like just got to nail down the dates. But yeah, I kind of want to interview that one guy we just saw too. Hopefully, yeah. Real quick though, here's the other one. I don't know, this one kind of seems fake, but after everything we're seeing, who knows? Maybe this one was real. This is one of the early shape-shifting videos allegedly, but let's see.
Be a bigger bummer. These are much more valuable types of crops, and you got to be a lot more careful around them. And it really hasn't been until recently that technology has advanced to the point where we can do these kinds of things in these very, very tight spacing, very precious crops around us as we're navigating through and doing those pre and post harvest work.
That's Agtonomy's co-founder and CEO, Tim Hoover. For the last 40 years, the Ag Information Network has been the source of news for farmers and ranchers.
See, now it's got the little blinking strobe effect. So at first I was kind of like, no, but even in that last one, and we're going to play that last one back too, you kind of see that weird ball in between stage a little bit. Now it's a fixed wing craft with FAA lights. That's what I'm going to get. So look at it.
No longer in. There it is. Come on. Come on out. Now it's hovering over my other neighbor's house. There we go. Now it's more red. This didn't move for hours.
See how it goes into a little ball in between thing? Maybe that's like when it's like reforming right there. That looks like the other video, right?
Well, that's the camera going in and out of focus. 100%.
Weird, man.
And you can tell because at some point it goes into the foreground, and you can see
different lights now.
The branches in the foreground.
It's moving really
fast. The thing
fast
that is anomalous, in my opinion, is the color change. The color change is
crazy
weird.
how fast this thing's moving now.
And he said it was hovering, like it was hovering over his neighbor's house. That's what it looks like, right? Like it definitely looks like it's not moving super fast, and then it goes. But when it goes into that weird shape, when it looks like an orb, most of the time, if not almost all of the time, that's the camera going in and out of focus. There are some things that are weird, like the patterns you can see in like the design. That's why, like, one of the things to look out for to see if that's the case is if there's weird patterns in the object that remain when the zoom in happens, like you can see.
This didn't move for hours.
Yeah, he said it didn't move for hours hovering, and then now it's doing this.
See, he just did like a digital zoom. Boom. That now it's focusing on something because the branch is in the foreground. That's why it lost focus.
So weird.
And then it starts to get it once he moves it out of the way, because the people's phones have an autofocus.
Look at the different lights now.
So it's still not
really
in focus,
fast now.
but we get like the green, red, and white. It's going in weird directions.
Crazy
too.
how fast this thing's moving now.
Yeah, we got people in chat saying that's what a plane on approach looks like. We'll see. And again, like the girl I'm interviewing tomorrow, everyone was telling her that too, that's what a plane on approach looks like. But she looked up the flight tracker for the time she filmed it in Florida, and she was like, no, that wasn't a plane. So who knows? We will see. We will see. All right. Let's go here.
So apparently,
this was a video that went kind of viral yesterday about people talking about what we covered here first about the FBI going to people who took videos. Let's see.
the feds show up if you post those lights on TikTok. Last week I posted a video about those 12 lights that I saw fall out of the sky on my way home. Not at the same time, they fell individually. Well, my boyfriend's coworker also saw them, and he caught them on film, and he posted them on TikTok. And apparently they showed up to his door, and he was asked to delete the video. And every time I use Cape Cod as a location tag, I get a notification stating that the video is restricted due to the location being an invalid location tag. So it's safe to say I was right about there not being shooting stars.
Here at home, the TSA.
So yeah, people are pretty spooked out about that. We got a super chat here. Thank you, sir. Hell yeah. Super chat to New Jersey Fun. Thank you, El Kimpo. Yeah, so we covered that the other day, and honestly, we've been breaking ground here, bro. We have Red Panda Koala. We broke some of the first stories, new testimony of other people saying that they saw stuff spraying, right? And we were some of the first to break that this FBI stuff was happening. Oh, but this
you're talking about the UFO.
Wait. We'll just play a little bit of this real quick, just a reminder for people who might not have seen it a few days ago.
Phenomenon.
Real quick, and then you guys can go back to it. I just got a question for Zane, real quick. Zane, did you just say you were that you found something, and then authorities visited you? Is that what I heard you say?
Well, I filmed. I need to be vague. I did write an article on my X profile that I go into as much detail as I feel comfortable, because unfortunately I got severely doxxed when I posted what I found on the internet. So now I got to protect my family, and I have to be very anonymous about everything. So I don't want to get into specifics, but I will give you the nutshell of what happened. I captured video of an unexplained object in the sky. I did not know what it is. It was in New Jersey in recent times with everything that's been going on. The video went pretty viral on the internet. Then the video got taken down everywhere pretty much. And then it was about a day later, I got visited by the FBI, though they also did visit my neighbors. But they did ask about the video. They asked of what I saw. They were very nice. There was no aggression there. They just asked some questions. They did pretty much, it was intimidating that they showed up at my house and they knew who I was. But also my information was fully doxed online as well. So it really did intimidate me in the sense that I have to be careful what I say. And though I want to be part of this community, I had to restart over. I had to get rid of all my social media accounts online. I had to get rid of everything because, there were literally thousands of people trying to reach out and give me hate for something that I wasn't even trying to claim what I saw. I just saw something, I filmed it, and I got a lot of hate for it, and as well as a bunch of people wondering what was going on and what it was. But that's my story in a nutshell. But I will say the FBI, they were very cordial. There was no real issues, but they did show up at my house. I know they went to my neighbors as well, but they were specifically asking about the video I took. So whatever that means to you, I don't know. I'm still trying to process everything that happened as well, and I don't have all the answers. But in a nutshell, that's my story.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. If you could DM me the video, I would love to see it. And also,
so yeah, just a little reminder, and that video is on my backup channel, which passed 1,000 subs. So thank you guys. But yeah, that's been a great depository for a lot of this, these different news clips and little testimonies like this and stuff. I'm gonna keep in touch with Zane here, and hopefully I'll be able to corroborate his story more and stuff shortly here. But yeah, we had that other testimony now, and I think I've seen a few other of these pop up where people are claiming that. Who knows? The FBI is definitely still being weird. Thank you, Wake Bong. Hell yeah. I need to hit my bong soon too. $20 SCK. I think that's South Korean, right? I heard this on Vetted X Space Live too. Oh, somebody on Vetted's, was it someone else or maybe him? I have to go back. I missed the first hour of that. We have to clip that because yeah, I'm trying to collect all these little testimonies. I'm up to about 7 testimonies of these things spraying a mist. And I think this is the other kind of beat that I don't see other people covering. So I'm going to keep an extra eye out for people getting visited by the FBI and whatnot. But the other thing too that he says here, not only was he visited by the FBI, but his video was deleted from everywhere he posted it and everywhere other people had posted it the day before the FBI visited, right? So that's kind of an interesting little data point. Again, I'm hoping I'll be able to corroborate that soon for you more, guys, but we're in the middle of this all. Yeah. What's the backup channel? Type in Red Panda Koala backup channel. Let me see if I could link it here. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, T-Bar? Is the FBI visiting people?
Definitely. Listen, this is the most corrupt FBI, and this is the most corrupt government I think I've ever seen in my life. And because of the technological capabilities, I would say it might be the most corrupt in the world or in the history of the world. It's crazy what we're seeing. I think they are definitely visiting people, regardless of what's going on. They want to know. They've never been more emboldened to violate rights and lock stuff down. And we don't know what this is yet. Even if it's a true UFO event, right? Or an anomalous event. They're going to be boots on the ground for sure, even more so than if it was a government exercise or something like that. So I think they're there, and I think they're talking to people. And I think if you're out there and you get approached by them, you should not comply and tell them to go.
You should film it for sure, too.
Definitely pull your phone, 100%. Pull your phone out, get them off your land. You know what I mean? These guys are jokes.
Yeah, and there's another point I wanted to make about this. Oh yeah, he was visited Zane here, who we were talking to for an orb video. That he said his wasn't of like on one of these mechanical droney ones. His was an orb that they were interested in. So yeah, all right, and that'll kind of tie into our last story, which is about this mayor going rogue. But first, we're going to look at some of the media coverage around this. We have 4 more videos here. Oh shoot.
Here at home, the TSA says roughly 40 million people, you might be out there, will be traveling by air this holiday season. But could recent reports of the mysterious drones near airports and military bases, why not? Would that impact flights? I think so. People in at least 11 states now have reported sightings. Joining us now to discuss is a Fox News contributor drone expert and former Army Special Operations soldier.
Super chat from Tony Cital says, seems like $10. Some of these seems like some of these orbs are forgetting they're supposed to act casual, and they're like, oh, just kidding, I'm actually a small plane. See ya. Yeah, that's honestly the kind of vibe I get.
Yeah, right. That's a great way to put it.
Velokovich, I hope I've done that right, Brett. Thank you. But Brett's so much easier. But this perspective, I have to tell you, I just want your thought on this. That I think it's pretty clear. On one hand, the government, Biden's administration, is telling us this is no big deal. This is, this people have drones. It's bad news. It's early Christmas presents. Clearly, this seems to be something more serious that is being, we have to presume, hidden from us because we're not getting answers. What is your approach on this?
Well, Tammy, my take is our government isn't taking it serious. And my concern is they're going to wait until somebody dies before we do anything and protect Americans. That's the danger here. And, the U.S. government right now, I'm finding out over the last couple of weeks dealing with these drone incursions is they don't have a clear government-wide policy for how to deal with detecting and mitigating drone threats. And this is a major national security threat. All the agencies seem to be pointing fingers that it's somebody else's responsibility. But I know where the bottleneck is. It's the FBI's drone department and the FAA. They're responsible for coordinating this. And unfortunately, they're not doing a good job.
Right. Jason.
Brett, Jason Chaffetz here. So the question is, what are these drones doing? Because there could be armed at some point. There could be a drone swarm at some point. I don't think our government is prepared to deal with any of those. But what are they doing if they're hovering there? What are they looking for? What data can they gather? How intelligent what intelligence can they gather by hovering over, say, New Jersey or
Well, here's
New York?
the thing, Jason. I think a lot of people assume drones are just about fancy, high-powered cameras, and that's just not the case. I dealt with this technology for quite some time, and all it takes is an adversary to fly a drone over a sensitive site for a few minutes, and the damage is done because you can put sensors on those drones that collect cell phone data. They can pick up all the cell phones. If I wanted to figure out information and read your text messages, I could just fly a drone over your house with a special sensor on it that could collect that data, which could go back to different intelligence agencies. You can put sensors that collect IP addresses from computers. You can listen into people's conversations. Basically anything light enough to fit on a drone you can do, and that's why our adversaries are using this against us right now.
There were two men just very recently in Boston. One was in court with Iranian ties. They were charged related to components ultimately reaching a drone that was used to kill 3 American soldiers in Jordan earlier this year. So drones can be deadly. They're used in wars. Is that something where you wouldn't want the American public to just get used to seeing drones over military bases and airports and sensitive sites?
We need to start paying attention to it a lot more because of what's happening overseas with current wars. For instance, in the Ukraine-Russian war, almost 70-80% of the strikes that take place on the front lines are with small handheld FPV drones that you can attach a grenade to and wreak havoc with. And this is larger than just some unauthorized drones flying around our territory. This is becoming a problem that affects potentially our economy if you're not careful. You have these airports with thousands of holiday travelers, which have to be shut down if they determine that there's a potential threat with a drone flying around. Drone activity have disrupted flights in the past. They've cost airliners millions and millions of dollars. And all it takes is one sighting of a drone over top of an airport, and that traffic has to be shut down.
Especially with what we got coming up.
A big holiday thing. A few airports have already been closed, so crazy. Here's the other story that was yesterday where I was like, oh, that's a wrap. When I saw this news story, I was like, that's a wrap. I guess we're going full Blue Book cover up with this whole thing. Nothing happened. It's all hysteria. This was on CBS News. CBS, one of the favorite outlets of the intelligence agency for like decades. And of course, they have that sketch eye as their thing. Let's see.
So look up in the sky. Is that Santa's sleigh or is that a drone? Tom Hansen helps us sort things out.
2 there are flying, one's hovering.
Dating back a month now, you've either seen them in the sky or you've seen them on the news. Drones seem to be everywhere.
What is that?
Tonight, the mystery deepens as drones are now spotted in at least 6 states.
By most accounts, alleged drone sightings are multiplying exponentially, with more than 5,000 reported in just the past few weeks alone. But of those 5,000, only 100 or so have generated actual law enforcement leads.
So what's the list of things that they actually could be seeing?
Number one, it could be an aircraft in the area. Number two, it could be the stars in the background. Number three, it could be a reflection off of something that's like some kind of tower.
George Mason University engineering professor Missy Cummings has been doing drone research for 25 years.
Of all of those options, drone is the least likely because it's actually pretty hard to pick these out of the sky.
We heard a similarly ordinary explanation when we visited New Jersey's Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Golden this past week.
The majority of these sightings, probably some type of commercial or recreational aircraft.
So, damn, I didn't have enough time because I was like out doing a bunch of stuff today. But I'll probably put it on Twitter, so keep an eye out, and I'll probably put it on my backup channel too. But this guy, this is kind of crazy because this happened in Colorado too. Every time this sheriff's been on the TV before this, he's been like, the government needs more accountability. This is real. This is really happening. People are seeing things. And this was the first time I've ever seen him act like this. He switched up. And this happened in Colorado too, where like sheriffs were hella outspoken. And then it seems like they got some sort of talk or some sort of briefing. And then they just go like, nah, like, you know what I mean? It was very, very strange.
Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Golden this past week.
The majority of these sightings, probably some type of commercial or recreational aircraft, manned aircraft.
In other words, no imminent threat. As a joint statement from the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Defense, the FAA, and the FBI put it on Tuesday.
And by the way, CBS titled this video, "Why Drone Hysteria Has Taken Off."
Not assess the activity to date to present a national security or public safety risk.
If you're actually looking at lights from a drone, it means that you're definitely not looking at a foreign adversary because they're sophisticated enough to turn the lights off.
This one's gonna fly over us right now.
And yet, some in the American public have been a little on edge.
And they're huge too. So I don't know what's going on.
Like they're recording people, or they're like just going around like sitting there, just looking at you?
We saw blinking, like lots of blinking things up in the sky to the south, right over the ocean.
1, 2, 3, like all coming together.
But Professor Missy Cummings says the best approach for now, we should all just try to stay grounded.
If I go on the news and tell you you have something to worry about, then you have something to worry about.
What do you think of that quote, Tupa? Are you here? We got to wait for this.
I am the science. That's what I heard.
Or is this? I feel like this video might have blackpilled you more than anything so far, right?
Yeah, you might be right about that. She's so casual.
But Professor Missy Cummings says the best approach for now, we should all just try to stay grounded.
If I go on the news and tell you you have something to worry about, then you have something to worry about.
All right. So until she gives us the A-OK that these things that have been unidentified for over a month, thousands of witness reports over our sensitive airspaces, over water reservoirs, and now there's all this water issues over there. But it's all good until this expert on TV, CBS, tells you. Okay.
You know what? I got to throw in a devil's advocate on this one. She seems like a normal person. That statement alone, it sounds like something a producer would try to get her to say. And the way she says it is almost like so annoyed that like I could believe she said it out of being prompted. It's too like it sums up basically, listen to the news, trust the news. Like a producer would love to say it.
That's the vibe I got on this one because this guy changes. Watch out! Keep an eye out for my edit tonight, guys. We're not going to do that live because it's too much going on here. But his seemed kind of forced too, especially when you look at. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's do this. Here he is a few days ago.
They're not ours. Shoot them down, right? I mean, if this was a national security drill, we miserably failed. Drone technology is emerging so much faster, particularly in the defense field, and it's a matter of national security, and it's a matter of public safety here in New Jersey, right? And so when I got together and sent a letter to Congressman Smith, our congressman here in Monmouth and Ocean County, where we've had a number of sightings, that letter said, hey, we need some changes to the federal law. We have to be able to protect our public and our residents here, and that would require loosening up and the ability for the state, or at least the state policing units across the country, to deconflict and to de-drone if necessary, meaning take down a drone. So right now that rests solely with the federal government, and I think that's the frustration because as you had said earlier in your show, is this some type of federal agency? listen, these drones seem sophisticated by all accounts. We have a lot of false reporting, but the good accounts, we do have them from military bases, personnel, and from our own first responders around northern New Jersey. These things are definitely sophisticated, fast, turn their lights off at times. So we need to get a handle on what it is and who's running it, right?
So,
and if
Sheriff,
there are, we're from Jersey, we can take the truth, right? So.
Right. Well, Sheriff, we did see a Chinese spy balloon go over our country and our government.
We'll stop it there. There's another one too where he's responding more to like some of the White House messaging where the White House is like, those are all just planes, and he's like, no. So it's kind of, in my opinion, pretty creepy to see him do this switch. I'm really curious what caused it.
County Sheriff Sean Golden this past week.
The majority of these sightings probably some type of commercial or recreational aircraft, manned aircraft.
In other words,
and they probably hella cut him out too to just make him say that part. But yeah, really weird messaging, and then the lady at the end don't like. Okay.
Yeah, the editing is crazy. You don't hate the media enough. You know what I mean? They're doing a lot.
Yeah,
they're doing extra work here.
The administration.
All right, so this is the mayor that went rogue last night on Facebook. We'll just kind of watch him first. Ryan Hurd. We'll just here's where he was on the news like a few days ago. So we'll just kind of see him, hear his voice, and then we'll go into what he said on Facebook last night, and then we're gonna end the show. Yeah.
The administration has brought in technology to track and whatnot. The reality is they've brought in technology that's only capable of tracking class 1 and class 2 drones, not class 3 and class 4. These drones that we're talking about that we're seeing are large drones. They're not your typical drone. When I say drone, you typically think about something the size of your hand. These are in no way, shape, or form that. So it seems to me that it's very convenient. They're bringing the technology in that's not going to find an answer to this problem. They're going to be able to say, American public, don't believe your eyes. You're only seeing planes and stars and 1,000 regular legally operated drones. It's plausible deniability, and we're sick of this.
Mayor Ryan Hurd.
I think this came out, and like I was saying to you about before you got here, I think we didn't do a show yesterday. It was kind of a slow news day, and after I saw that CBS report, I was like, oh man, they're doing it. They're just going to go all in on this. It was a hysteria thing, and I think it activated some people, and that's probably why he did this. And his little Facebook thread kind of goes along with what he had said, but we'll just kind of watch this together. It's from last night.
Fred, the drone they don't want you to solve. Buckle up. This is going to be long. Share widely because Facebook will take this down and they might ban me too. Let's talk about what went down in New Jersey this month. One Wednesday, December 11th, Governor Phil Murphy called a mandatory in-person meeting for New Jersey mayors in Ewing. Reps from New Jersey State Police and the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness were present. The topic? Unidentified drones. They admitted they don't know who's flying them, where they're launched from, where they land. Wait, what? It's 2024 in America and they're this clueless? 2, I lost it. I stood up and asked, 1, can you confirm this isn't a U.S. military operation? State Police Colonel Callahan, it's not. 2, can you confirm it's not a big tech company? Google, Amazon, SpaceX? Callahan, it's not. So who is it? No answers. That's when I went straight to the media. 3, quick backstory. I've spent 30 years in tech, smart home, IoT, AI, ML, you name it. I know the players in the skunkworks projects they're hiding. Look me up on LinkedIn for proof. On the way home, I started calling everyone in drone tech and surveillance. Guess what? Nobody knew anything. 4, so I assembled a team. Craig, combat vet, retired major, drone whiz. Dr. Green, combat vet.
Wonder if that's Kit Green. No, I'm just kidding.
Retired GS.
No way.
Expert. Folks at Blue Halo, cutting edge counter drone tech. We brainstormed for hours. Only 3 possibilities made sense. 1, 2, 3.
And pause. He did in the comments. People were like, "What's the 3 possibilities? How are you going to go rogue on all that?" But not say that. See, he said it's the good guys, it's the bad guys, or it's where the conspiracies start to get really crazy. That's what he said.
But to confirm anything, we needed evidence. Make, model, origin, and Blue Halo's Locust TAT system could do it. Friday, December 13th. I pitched the plan to Governor Murphy. The deal? Blue Halo provides tech and operators for free to detect. Idaho, and if approved, acquire the drones. Murphy connected us with Colonel Callahan, who then set up a Zoom with the FBI. 6 on the FBI call. Me, Craig, Dr. Green, Callahan, and an FBI special agent. We laid out the problem and the solution. The FBI said they were bringing in their own assets to detect drones. Problem? Their tech only detects small, Class 1/2 drones. We're talking about Class 3/4. Totally different. The FBI ended the call abruptly. Saturday, December 14th. I attended Rep. Chris Smith's press conference in Seaside Heights. I briefed him, local mayors, and the Ocean and Monmouth County sheriffs. They loved the plan. We also discussed involving the Coast Guard to assist with detection using Blue Halo's tech. Monday, December the 16th. We got red lighted. The FBI had no interest in the solution, despite it being military-grade tech, offered for free, with operators included. Conveniently, Congress is now in recess. 9, here's what you need to understand. 1, the federal government doesn't want a solution. 2, they're creating the illusion of a solution. 3, this is classic plausible deniability. You're being fed a cover story. Planes, legal drones, stars, the moon? Don't buy it. 10, why are they so quick to shut down real answers? Why are top-of-the-line tools being rejected? Why is Congress on break just as things heat up? This isn't just incompetence. It's a cover-up, and you are the pawn. 11. As you can see in the text, we even has a solution for educating the public and having you help us in detecting real drones, but they want the chaos it helps with the cover-up. I'll leave you with this. If the government won't protect you, who will? Share this thread. Wake people up. The truth is out there, but they don't want us to find it. Keep watching the skies. All abruptly.
So yeah, somebody put Theo Fanter says Jersey glory right here, baby. Brutally honest. Yeah, and that's what I was saying early on too. I was like, maybe the aliens went to Jersey because they knew that you know, the politicians in Colorado. If I was a Coloradoan right now that was living through that 2019, 2020 stuff, I'd be pissed because they just went along with everything, right? But yeah, these Jersey mayors are not having it. They're like, no, there's some bull stuff going on. Tuba, what are your thoughts here on this this leak from this mayor?
I think it's wild. The stance with these mayors and people kind of more higher up in government, even local government, is kind of unprecedented. I mean, I've never seen anything like this where they're all standing in unison saying, no, something's going on, and they're standing with their constituents on this. I mean, it's pretty weird. And
it's
like
crazy, right? It's so big.
Yes.
It's such the federal to local divide and like straight up like gaslighting and accusing like, yeah. And kind of with that one that we covered too, the Navy Coast Guard story. It's another kind of great example of like the Coast Guard people saying like, hey, we saw 30 drones come off the ocean and trail our boat. And then the White House is like, actually, those were just planes flying into JFK International Airport. Yeah. And then, yeah, what he's saying too, like, and I personally go the other route. I think some people read this and go, oh, that just means it's all government op, right? I go, that just means they know it's NHI and they don't want, you know what I mean? They want the cover up. Like either way, if it's a government op or an alien thing, they'd want the cover up both ways. But because yeah, he's like, they don't want it. They're bringing in equipment, and that's kind of what he said in the last clip too. Let's play that they're bringing in equipment that doesn't work on purpose. Let's see.
The administration has brought in technology to
so this is the Biden administration. This is finally after Biden getting off his butt. Yeah. So yeah.
Track and whatnot. The reality is they've brought in technology that's only capable of tracking Class 1 and Class 2 drones, not Class 3 and Class 4. These drones that we're talking about that we're seeing are large drones. They're not your typical drone. When I say drone, you typically think about something the size of your hand. These are in no way, shape, or form that. So it seems to me that it's very convenient. They're bringing the technology, and that's not going to find an answer to this problem. They're going to be able to say, American public, don't believe your eyes. You're only seeing planes and stars and, you know.
So yeah, like the whole thing is basically designed to fail. Interesting. Well, that's all the clips for today. Tupa, any closing thoughts? And yeah, people were saying too, this mayor's a dead man walking. I'm glad he's doing PR. I'm glad I was able to help him out a little bit with
chat's going wild.
The PR, because yeah, this is a, you know, don't mess with the FBI, yo.
Yeah, mess with them. I think there's There's reason to investigate this at almost every level, government level, cover-up level. Something's happening, right? We know that. Even the president, and the upcoming president, they've all acknowledged this is strange. This is they don't seem to have a record of any kind of military exercise that would explain these sightings, and they keep happening. And there is this instance, or this fact, where more people are looking up and recording, and that's going to lead to more sightings just naturally. More sightings of prosaic objects, but also more of anomalous objects. And that's where, like, it takes people who are used to looking at this or who want to get into this. They shouldn't take it lightly. Not everything can be explained by planes or drones, or you know what I mean. Not everything. Some of these are strange, and the fact that these mayors and these local government guys are having such a hard time, that's suspicious.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you, Tupa, for joining. Maybe tomorrow, or when you hop on another one, let me know, and because last time you were on, we didn't do a timeline plug, and we've got to do that, but I do kind of got to get going here.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Next time. No worries, man.
Next time you hop in here. But yeah. All right.
Good
Thanks, guys.
stuff. Thanks for covering this, Red.
Thank you, bro. I'll catch you guys all later. Peace.
Peace.